We all know that all of the sitcoms in the 90s went to Walt Disney World, and we all know that the Full House episode was the best one. And if you disagree with me, well, you're wrong. Everyone who watches the Full House episode knows that it just doesn't make sense time-wise. So we're gonna go through this article that is on BuzzFeed on why the Walt Disney World vacation on Full House was a logistical nightmare. In the purest Full House fashion, the entire family volunteers to accompany the couple on their romantic vacation. When Kimmy asks to come along, Danny claims that the Tanner budget is a little tight, so naturally the family of 10 plus Kimmy checked themselves into the Grand Floridian, the most expensive resort on Walt Disney World property. Jesse and Becky took the honeymoon suite, although technically there is no honeymoon suite, but let's say for argument's sake they stayed at the Victorian suite, which is $2,000 a night. Danny, the patriarch of the Tanner family, starts off with great intentions as he hands out personalized itineraries for each of his kin. His family then proceeds to toss the well-laid plans in the trash behind his back, at which point my heart shattered. This was their first step towards Disney vacation chaos. Oh, look at the carousel back in the 90s. DJ, Kimmy, Stephanie, and Michelle head to Magic Kingdom while Danny and Vicky go to Epcot. This is where the vacation becomes almost unbearable to watch. I know that we still strive to do 4 parts one day challenge. There were only 3 parts open in 1993, but it seems as though the Tanner family did it unintentionally. Here is my breakdown of the Tanner's nonsensical day at Disney. I'm excited. All I have to say is I hope Michelle was either 7 years old or that DJ and Kimmy were over the age of 14, because otherwise they should not have been riding together without an adult. 9 a.m. DJ, Stephanie, Michelle, and Kimmy arrive at the Magic Kingdom. Since Extra Magic Hours, as we know, then did not come around till 2005, I'm assuming that Magic Kingdom opened at a normal operating hour. While on Main Street, the encounter is shameless self-promotion for the 1992 film Aladdin. DJ, missing her boyfriend Steve, thinks Aladdin bears an uncanny resemblance to her man. This is the funniest joke in Full House history because Scott Winder is the voice of Aladdin. Michelle rubs the magic lamp, making a 20-foot inflatable genie appear. She is crowned princess for a day and then given 3 magical wishes. Michelle, with her newfound power, becomes a grade A and becomes too hard for her sisters to handle. 11 o'clock. Danny tries to propose to Vicky at the Germany Pavilion in Epcot. Although Epcot opens at 9 a.m., World Showcase does not open until 11 a.m. So this is the earliest time Danny could be sitting in the bustling Germany Pavilion. Danny tries to propose to Vicky, but this is interrupted by dancing international cultural representative cast members. I hate it when that happens. 11 a.m. Michelle forgets that safety begins with me and leaves the party. After riding Prince Charming Regal Carousel, the Tanner girls are fed up with Michelle's bossiness as princess for a day. Michelle has absolutely no time for their jealousy and runs off. Her older siblings have lost her. Even though there are giant posters of her face literally all over Magic Kingdom, not once did DJ approach Disney security, which could have found Michelle in 2 minutes. If they were screaming Michelle all over Magic Kingdom, one of the cast members would have came up and been like, hey, what does she look like? And everyone would have been like, duh, her picture's literally all over Magic Kingdom. And Disney security would have been like, hey, she's over here. 12 p.m. Danny and Vicky have an ADR at Coral Reef. ADR, annual anniversary dinner? What? Anniversary dinner reservation? I don't know what ADR means. Coral Reef lunch starts at 11:30 and it's a 13-minute walk from the Germany Pavilion to the Living Seas, so let's say it's currently approximately 12 o'clock in the episode. Danny tries to propose to Vicky again, but is obviously interrupted by Jesse and Joey recording a radio show underwater. Danny gets a call via the restaurant that Michelle is missing in the Magic Kingdom. He excuses himself and races to the other park. End of episode 1. Wow, nothing happened in episode 1. 12 o'clock. Michelle has a dance party for one in Adventureland. Snow White should not be in Adventureland because Snow White is only in Fantasyland or in Main Street for some odd reason. Princesses can do whatever they want, and Michelle decides to shimmy along to the drummers in Adventureland. And then the unthinkable happens. Snow White comes to looking for her in Adventureland. Like, that is the literal purpose of the Utilidors, so that doesn't happen. Thank you. Does she ride the Seven Dwarfs mine train all the way to the Amazon? Anyway, Snow White takes Michelle to a private tea party with Mickey and his friends in Toontown. Once again, where is Disney's security? 12:30 p.m. The Tanner family is reunited in the Magic Kingdom. By the time Danny could have ran from Coral Reef to the entrance of Epcot, found a cab, let's decide he didn't use Disney transportation when his daughter was missing, taking a 10-minute cab to find DJ, Steph, and Kimmy in the park without the help of a cell phone, and gone back to the park to Toontown would have been at least 20 minutes. Michelle realizes that she's too petty for Disney World, and everyone kisses and makes up. What? So realistically, Danny probably took the monorail over to Epcot, and let's say DJ called Danny from guest relations. Maybe they met there and then went to Toontown. 1 o'clock p.m. What on earth? There is no way that they would go from 12:30 to 1 o'clock in that span of half an hour to MGM Studios for a 1 o'clock showing of Indiana Jones. It takes 10 minutes to get from the front of the park to Indiana Jones. No way. That does not make sense. Danny, Vicky, and the girls go to MGM Studios so Gigi can hallucinate Steve again. For some inconceivable reason, the family decides to leave the Magic Kingdom, where there are plenty of attractions they haven't ridden yet, and head to Disney's MGM Studios. I'm assuming there were too many people to fit inside one cab, so they probably took a 20-minute bus ride. They only go to see Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. There, she imagines it's Steve getting run over by the iconic boulder, but alas, she's just super thirsty and is seeing things. The show is 25 minutes long, so they would have had to run to the park entrance to get their next bus. 2 o'clock. The Tanners go back to the Magic Kingdom just to ride Splash Mountain. This episode takes place 6 years before the invention of fast passes, so Michelle is a genius and wished to not having to wait in any line as being part of Princess for a day. For this timeline to work, they would have had to run to Frontierland, ridden Splash Mountain, and booked it back to the monorail to get back to the Grand Floridian. 12:30. The family goes back to their over-budget hotel because Stephanie is still jealous of Michelle. Stephanie doesn't feel well, so the clan heads back to the Grand Floridian. There, DJ is actually reunited with Steve this time, and Stephanie and Michelle begin to see eye to eye. All of this would have had to happen in less than 10 minutes because Snow White, girl, what are you doing at the Grand Floridian now? Grants them the wish of being in the 3 o'clock parade. 3 o'clock. The Tanners make their fastest quick change in Disney history so they can match their parade floats. Somehow the entire family managed to coordinate, ride the monorail, get back to Magic Kingdom, get changed, and get safely secured to their parade vehicles in 30 minutes. Pure Disney magic. 9 o'clock. What happened to the rest of the day? Jessie sings in front of Cinderella's castle and Danny finally proposes. Jessie and the Rippers replace Fantasy in the Sky that night, which Fantasy in the Sky is lit, and sing A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes during the fireworks. Danny somehow coordinates a last-minute pyrotechnic change with a cast member, once again, safety, and says, "Vicky, will you marry me?" written in the fireworks, ignoring the fact that this would have cost thousands of dollars for their over-budget vacation that they couldn't have taken Kimmy on. She says yes, and they all live happily ever after. Needless to say, watching this as a former Disney cast member, may have been the most stressful 44 minutes of my entire life. I do not, under any circumstances, recommend using this episode of Full House to watch your Disney vacation planning video. I give Victoria Pike very good credit because this is one of the best articles that I've ever read. Granted, Disney probably tried to make it, well, the writers of Full House probably tried to make it so that their day was planned out, and maybe the parade was at like 5 o'clock that day, because sometimes like during holiday season, party season for Christmas and Halloween, the Festival of Fantasy gets moved to 2 o'clock to get the people out of there faster. And then during Christmas season, they do a 12:30 parade and a 3:30 parade. So maybe they move the parade to like 5 o'clock that day to give them a little bit more time, giving them the benefit of the doubt. Something I do want to add, like the one part of where Jessie and Joey are in the circle thing doing the radio show, this does not make sense to me, okay? So they're going and they like knock on the glass next to Danny and Vicky's window, and then Jesse's combing his hair with their comb, and then later they're in the circle and they're dry. Like, it's not like they have those those scuba masks on where their face is dry, he's combing his hair. Like, it should be wet, and then they're in the thing, they're dry. But then, how the heck did they get in there so that none of the technology got destroyed? Because then they probably had to open the thing and then climb up. Like, that does not make sense to me. Did they drop them down in the pod? But then again, how the heck did they get out of there? That just does not make sense to me.
America, explain!
I am going to do like a review of all of the different 90s sitcoms, Disney episodes. So this was the first one. Obviously, it is still my favorite, even though it makes zero sense. So thank you to Victoria Pike for making this BuzzFeed article. What episode of the 90s sitcoms going to Disney World would you like to see next? There will be a comment down below with all of the different episodes, and you guys have to vote which one that I should review next. Anyways, I will see you in the next video, and thank you guys for watching. Bye!